Welcome back to Midday. We love a cooking segment around here, especially right around lunchtime. We're joined by Jason Durig, who's here from Cascades Casino. Welcome.
That's right. Thank you. This is my second segment here, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get to do the first segment with you, too.
Exactly.
It's going to seem suspicious if Susan's never here on the day that you cook. I've managed to weasel my way in. What are we making today?
So today, in the spirit of the fact that we have Easter coming up, we have decided today to make eggs Benny. So here today, I'm going to show you guys a traditional reduction for an eggs Benedict, making fresh hollandaise, as well as poaching eggs and doing two different styles. I've brought our ham steak, which we do feature in match, and we also do in the buffet. Okay. And then we also got the smoked salmon, which we also feature in match.
That smoked salmon looks amazing.
Exactly.
Delicious. Okay, where
One of my
start?
favorites. So first of all, we're going to get a reduction going. Okay. I already did make a pre one here, but I wanted to show people at home how to make a proper hollandaise reduction. So we'll start off by turning my pot on.
You mean a proper reduction isn't done from one of those pouches that you buy?
No, exactly not. Now, most people, you can do it a cheater, can add a couple caps of white wine vinegar or a little bit of lemon juice as their acid to make a hollandaise. Okay. But I like to do a traditional one and actually add a little bit of base flavor. So here I just have a white wine vinegar that I'm going to add to my pot, as well with some whole peppercorns. All right. And in this little bowl here, I have parsley stems and some bay leaves.
Perfect.
Now, to this reduction to add more flavor, you can also add shallots, garlic. You can add some shishito peppers or red jalapenos if you want to spice it up a little bit, right?
A little bit of imagination. And
exactly. So this just goes on high, reduces down by about half, and all that flavor you're going to see is going to infuse right into it, right? Okay. Now, because we only have so much time on the TV here, I already made a little bit batch at home, right?
We're doing some magic?
We're doing some magic, exactly. We're going to start actually making our hollandaise from scratch. So as you see here, stainless steel bowl, double boiler, already got my water going. You don't want this rolling boil too much, just a little bit.
And if you boil it too much, what happens?
It becomes too hot when you can actually end up just scrambling your hollandaise instead of actually making hollandaise, right?
Instead of it being a sauce.
Exactly. So here I have about 8 egg yolks. Okay. And the ratio is about 3 to 4 egg yolks per pound of butter that you want to use.
In we go.
Exactly. To that, I'll add some of my pre-made reduction.
What's in your pre-made reduction? Is it a secret?
No, it's the exact same thing I made up here in front, right? I'll add a little bit of salt and a bit of white pepper. Okay. And to this, because I like to have a little freshness of it, I'm going to take a lemon wedge and a squeeze of lemon as well.
All right. Should have warned me to stand back.
I'm sorry.
I'm just joking. I'll be lemony fresh all day.
There you go. To this as well, like making a hollandaise is an emulsification, which is basically forcing ingredients together that want to live together. So the more things you add to it, the better the butter is going to have something to bind to. So at this point in time, I have to add a little bit of water to it as well. And from here, this is the fun part. This is where I get to whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk away until this actually becomes a little bit frothy. Exactly. Frothy, lightens up, and becomes a little bit thicker. And once we hit that stage, we can actually start adding the butter. Okay.
So now, while you're whisking away, might be a good time to talk about what else is happening at Cascades Casino.
With Easter coming up, I want to make sure that everybody knew that for Easter in match, from 10 to 2, we're doing our brunch menu. And in the buffet, we are holding a special Easter brunch. Okay. $16, kids 6 and under eat free. And on that day as well, we're going to have a carving station, an omelet station where we have about 6 to 8 different toppings. You can create your own omelets. We'll have one of our cooks standing right there, making them for you from scratch. Fantastic. We'll have baked ham, and then of course our regular accompaniment of brunch items.
Sorry, what day was that again?
This will be on Sunday, on Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday, okay.
Exactly.
Mark it down, that sounds amazing.
On that day as well, we'll also be doing a couple of giveaways in match, or sorry, in the buffet. We'll be giving away a one-night stay at the Coast Hotel in Langley. Nice. And a few $50 match gift cards as well.
Fantastic.
Right?
And can't do better than that.
No, you can't. And just remind everybody out there that all our restaurants are family friendly, so bring your kids. Great. Okay. Right. So you can see right now this is starting to lighten up a little bit. It's getting a little bit frothy. We're not quite there yet. It needs to change colors a little bit more.
And that's what's supposed to happen?
Exactly. This is actually, if you want to be technical and traditional, this is called a sabayon. Okay. Right, which is your base sauce. This can be put over asparagus, put over salmon, put over any kind of poacher really. Right. And then once you start adding butter to it, is when you're actually now making a hollandaise.
I think sometimes hollandaise gets a bad name, a bad rep, and that's probably because most people don't know how to do it properly, right?
No, they don't, and too many people in too many places. Like, for example, when I go out and I'm going to order brunch, right, breakfast is one of my favorite meals of the day. Yes. I don't like making it that much, but I love eating brunch, right?
Like at 10:30, 11.
But wherever I end up going, the first thing I ask is like, do you guys make your hollandaise from scratch? If they don't, I'll then get a frittata or an omelet or something else, right? But if they actually make a real hollandaise, I'll get eggs Benny.
Well, and then you get to check it out and see how it stacks up.
Exactly. So the reason I pull it off the heat here is because we're starting to get a little too warm, and you can see the edges of it there.
Oh,
it was just starting to cook a little too much for me, right?
It's all about keeping a close eye.
So just going to turn this down a little bit. And as you can see now, it's lightened up, it's turned colors, it's getting frothy, it's thickened.
And meanwhile, this is boiling away, making your reduction.
Exactly, and I'll just tilt that up so everybody can see it, right? You can see that the vinegar's turned colors a little bit.
And all of the
peppercorns, the bay leaves, yep,
there.
exactly.
So when it's done, it'll look exactly like that reduction that you added.
Exactly, it'll be a little bit darker and it'll have that sweet flavor too because the vinegar's been reduced a little bit, right? Okay, I'm gonna turn the reduction off, and I'm also gonna turn the pot off here. As you can see now, nice and thick. It's frothy, it's lighter. And at this point in time, yeah, we're working a little bit of sweat doing this, that's for sure.
You can take over if you want, but...
No, I said I got your parts coming up here in a second.
Okay. Is it the eating part?
No.
My favorite part. We'll come back and we'll have a lot more with Jason Durig in just a second. And we're back with Jason Durig, who's joining us from Cascades Casino. We're making eggs Benedict, and we're well on our way here.
So we're just going to finish up our hollandaise right now while I'm waiting for my water to boil to poach our eggs.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close. So I'm going to get you to hold the bowl with the rag there. And this process, when you're making the hollandaise, is adding the butter, is the most difficult.
So you
as you have to do it.
Butter there,
it's melted clarified butter. You don't need to use clarified. You can use just regular whole butter as long as you're taking the that white froth on top off, right?
Okay.
And to start with, I'm just doing a little bit at a time to help build that emulsification to start with.
See it changing colors.
It's changing colors, it's getting thicker, it'll lighten up a little bit, and the faster you add this, you risk actually splitting it. That's why I add a little bit at a time to start with, and as you're building it, then you can start adding more and more and more and more. And the trick is to make sure you're circling around the whole entire bowl to incorporate all the butter into it.
Perfect. And while we do that, you up for another multitask here?
Yeah, let's do it.
What else is going on at Cascades Casino? For spring.
We just started a new promotion called Slots of Spring.
Slots of Spring.
Started May 1st, going to the end of, started April 1st, going to the end of May.
Okay.
The first draw is this Sunday, and then every 2 weeks after that. Now with this draw, every time that you come in and enter, you can actually get a ballot for a grand prize of $2,500. And if you swipe your card at our kiosk, you have the option of potentially winning an instant $1 million.
Whoa.
Right? That'll start getting people in there for sure.
I like those odds.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So that starts
it started on April 1st.
It did start April 1st, okay.
And goes into the end of May.
So it's happening now, so people can come in anytime and take advantage of that.
Now, the other exciting thing that I have to make sure I tell everybody is that today is actually our grand opening of our sister property in Penticton called Cascades Casino Penticton.
Exciting.
Right?
That's huge.
Hence why I'm by myself today. As everybody else is in Penticton doing the opening right now.
Everybody ditched you to go do the opening.
It's a little bit sad, but I'll deal. Now, from this, everybody can see there are hollandaise. It's nice and thick. It's changed color a little bit. And this, you're going to finish seasoning, right? So traditionally, a little bit of paprika. And this, I'm going to give you the warning this time.
All right, back up.
We add a little bit more fresh lemon to it.
Lemon on the fly.
To freshen it up. And it really helps, the acidity really helps to cut the butter.
All
right? Fold it in. And from here, you can turn this hollandaise into anything you want. You can add a little bit of seafood paste for a seafood Benny. You can add tarragon, which is what I'm going to do right now.
So many options.
Exactly. Adding fresh tarragon to it turns it into a béarnaise, which we use in Atlas steak and fish on a daily basis. You can add tomato paste, you can add champagne, you can add everything to it.
Great.
And this is the beauty of working for casinos, that I have 3 restaurants. It's never boring.
Yes,
there's always something to do, right?
So think of Cascades Casino for Easter, especially Easter Sunday, where the brunch is happening up there. Great deal, and the whole family is welcome. And Spring Slots is also on right now. We're going to finish up our eggs Benny. Here is what's going in the water.
So our water is ready to go. From here, we're going to add a little bit of vinegar to it, just to help the eggs hold together a bit of salt to season the water. I recommend whenever you're doing any kind of blanching to season your water. I'm going to give it a quick little stir to make the water moving. And from this aspect, this is where we crack our eggs in.
All right, and walk us through what's going to happen next, because we might run out of time here, but if we could complete the process.
I'm hoping so. It'd be a shame if we didn't. So the eggs are going to cook. It takes about 2 minutes to get a nice soft poach. Okay. Right? From there, I'm going to grab my English muffins, which I have toasting in the oven.
And we'll have to complete the assembling after. It's going to be beautiful.
I'll make sure I complete it afterwards. You guys can take a nice picture of it so you can see at home what it's actually going to look like.
We can show it after. We'll be back with more Midday in just a second.